Good morning, girls. In the last class, we learnt about the Aryans. The Aryans, they were a nomadic group of people from Central Asia who migrated to India around the 1500 BCE. And in India, they settled in different parts. They settled in different regions of India. Initially, they settled in the region of the Sapta Sindhu. Sapta Sindhu refers to the seven rivers. So initially, they settled in the region of the seven rivers, and later on, they moved to settle in the Gangetic Valley. And we also discussed about the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. Now, today we'll be learning about the meaning of Vedas and Vedic, and also about the Vedic literature. So, we'll begin with the class. The Aryans first established their settlements in Punjab. So, in the beginning, initially, the Aryans they settled in Punjab. Punjab, in the region of the Sapta Sindhu, that region was in Punjab. So, initially, they settled in Punjab. It was here that they composed and recited hymns in praise of nature, of their rivers and mountains, and of their gods. So, in Punjab, when they settled in Punjab, they composed. Compose means to make something. So, they composed and they recited hymns. Hymns are songs of praise or of worship. So, they composed songs praising the nature, the rivers, mountains, and also their gods. These hymns form part of their religious literature known as the Vedas. So, the religious literature of the Aryans is known as the Vedas, and all the hymns that they composed and recited, they are part of the Vedas. The term Veda has been derived from the Sanskrit word Vid, which means knowledge. So, the word Veda, it comes from the Sanskrit word Vid, which means knowledge. Thus, Vedas constitute the storehouse of knowledge about the Aryans. So, the word Veda, it comes from the Sanskrit word Vid, which means knowledge. And these Vedas, they are the storehouse of knowledge about the Aryans. That is, the Vedas, they contain all the information, all the knowledge about the Aryans. So, anything of or relating to the Vedas is known as Vedic, such as Vedic age, Vedic literature, Vedic society, etc. So, everything that is concerned with the Vedas, anything that is related to the Vedas is known as Vedic. And we have Vedic age, which is about the age of the Vedas. We have Vedic literature, and we have Vedic society, etc. etc. So, first we'll be talking about the Vedic literature. The Vedic literature can be classified into the following categories. The four Vedas, that is the Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Vedas. So, the Vedic literature, it has many classifications. The first classification is the four Vedas, and these four Vedas are the Rig Veda, the Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and the Atharva Vedas. So, first we'll talk about the Rig Veda. It is the oldest religious text in the world, having 1028 hymns in praise of God. So, the Rig Veda is world's oldest religious text, and in this Rig Veda we have about 1028 hymns in praise of God. We have about 1028 songs praising God. It also contains a famous Gayatri mantra. So, in the Rig Veda, we also have the famous Gayatri mantra. Now, the Gayatri mantra is it's a universal prayer. You might have heard about the Gayatri mantra. It is a universal prayer, and it is contained in this Rig Veda. The Rig Veda provides information on the life of the early Vedic age. So, in the Rig Veda, we have all the information, all the details about the life which existed during the early Vedic period. Now, the next one is the Samaveda. It comprises hymns sung at the time of the sacrifice by the priests. So, in the Samveda, we have songs, we have hymns which are sung during the time of sacrifice by the priest. So that when the priest is sacrificing, when the priest is performing sacrifice or offerings, there are certain songs and hymns which are sung. So all these hymns are contained in the Samaveda. Then we have the Yajur Veda. It deals with the rituals or the hymns recited during the performance of yajnas. Now in the Yajur Veda we have all the rituals and hymns. Ritual, it refers to any religious practice or any religious ceremony is known as ritual. So in the Yajur Veda we have all the rituals and hymns which are sung during the yajnas, during the performance of the yajna. Yajna is a sacrifice or an offering which is done in front of a sacred fire. So they have a sacred fire, and in front of this any offering that is done is known as a yajna. So during the performance of the yajna there are certain rituals or hymns which are recited, and all these are contained in the Yajur Veda. There are 2086 hymns which throw light on the social and religious life of the Aryans. So in the Yajur Veda we have about 2086 hymns, and all these hymns they tell us about the social and religious life of the Aryans. Then the next is the Atharva Veda. It deals with magic and charm. So the Atharva Veda's hymns in Atharva Veda, it deals with magic and charm. Charm means it is any act or any word which is believed to have magical power. Any practice or any word which has magic, which is believed to have magical power, is known as charm. So in the Atharva Veda we have the hymns which deal with magic and charm. Besides the powers of ghosts and spirits, the hymns deal with Gyan, knowledge, karma, action, and upasana, invocation. So apart from the hymns which describe about the powers of ghosts and spirits, there are hymns which also deal about Gyan, that is knowledge, the hymns which deal about knowledge. Then we have hymns which deal about actions, and we also have hymns which deal about invocation. Now invocation, it is an act of calling God or spirit. It is an act of calling out to God or spirit for protection. So the Atharva Veda, it has hymns which deal with magic, charm, and which deal with the powers of ghosts and spirit. And apart from these, there are also hymns which deal about knowledge, action, and invocation. Some hymns also deal with medicines for the treatment of various diseases. Now there are also hymns which act as medicines, which deal with the medicines for the treatment of certain diseases. Now the next one is the Brahmanas. So the first classification of the Vedic literature was the 4 Vedas, that is the Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajur Veda, and the Atharva Veda. The second classification is the Brahmanas. These are simple commentaries on the Vedas. So the Brahmanas, they are simple commentaries. Commentary means description. They are simple. They give simple description about the Vedas. They explain the social and religious importance of rituals as well as the value of sacrifices. So the Brahmanas, they explain about the importance of rituals. Ritual as any religious ceremony. So they explain about the social and religious importance of these ceremonies, of these religious ceremonies, and also about the importance of sacrifices. Then the third classification is the Aranyakas. These are also known as forest books and form the concluding part of the Brahmanas. So that the Aranyakas, they are known as forest books, and they form the concluding part, that is the end part, the part which concludes the concludes the Brahmanas. The part which comes after Brahmanas is the Aranyakas, and they form the end part, the concluding part of the Brahmanas. Their main themes are mysticism and philosophy. So the main themes of the Aranyakas are mysticism. Mysticism is a belief where there is a it is a belief that every human life has a meaning. Every human life has a hidden meaning, and every human being can be united with God. So the belief that there is a hidden meaning in life and that every human being can be united with God is known as mysticism. So in the Aranyakas, the main theme is mysticism and philosophy. Philosophy is a study of human mind and human thinking. Then the next one is the Upanishads. The Upanishads, it is a last classification. We have 4 classifications. The last one is the Upanishads. These are philosophical commentaries on the Vedas. So the Upanishads, they are philosophical descriptions which on the Vedas. They give the philosophical description about the Vedas. The doctrines such as karma, moksha and maya are explained in detail. So in the Upanishads, there is detailed explanation, detailed description about the doctrines. Doctrines are a set of beliefs or set of principles such as the karma, moksha and maya. So the karma, moksha and maya, they are the doctrines, and the description, explanation about these doctrines are given in the Upanishads. So these are the 4 classifications of the Vedic literature. The 4 classifications were the first one was the 4 Vedas. That is the Rig Veda, Samveda, Yajurveda and the Atharva Veda. The next classification was the Brahmanas. Then we have the Aranyakas, and at last we have the Upanishads. So this is about the Vedic literature. So today we learnt about the meaning of Vedas and Vedic, and also about the Vedic literature. So we'll stop for today, girls. Thank you.